Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you to the Monado State University Choir for welcoming us so beautifully. A few of you I've not yet had the chance to meet. My name is Jeff Dauma, and I want to welcome you to the fourth day of our International Choral Festival and the first day of our symposium, Choirs Transforming Our World. Those of us who have been here since Tuesday have been inspired and uplifted by the singing that we've heard, and we have been refreshed by the new friendships that we have formed. Why is it that choral music, again and again, demonstrates this ability to bring people together? What is it about singing in a group that seems to open our hearts and minds to new ways of thinking so that we can see the world differently and so that we can appreciate the people around us in different and new ways? And how, as choral conductors and as choral singers, can we harness this power? These are among the questions that we're seeking to explore over the next couple of days, the culmination of our festival. I'm joined on the stage this morning by several extraordinary individuals who have each played a key role in making this symposium possible, and they're here to join me in welcoming you this morning. First, it's a great pleasure for me to introduce the president of the International Federation for Choral Music, Michael Anderson.
Good morning. I hope you're ready to make music today. I hope you're ready to make music. Oh, good. All right, good. So on behalf of the Board of Directors of IFCM and the membership, I welcome you to the symposium. I'm really pleased that we're doing the symposium at Yale. It marks a new direction for IFCM. It marks a new partner for IFCM. And it marks people who are working with us to reach out to the world and make choral music something special, but also something that can be shared amongst people of the world. IFCM started about 30 years ago, and the reason we put it together at that time was it was realized that choral music is so special to the societies of every country, but at that time every country didn't know about the choral music of other countries. So IFCM was founded to share cultures across societies and across borders and different countries. And I can say that to this point, we have succeeded mightily. And I'll tell you about some of the projects that we're doing that lead us to this conclusion. First of all, we put on the World Symposium of Choral Music every 3 years. And we were in Argentina last year, which was really a unique experience, to be sure. And in 2014, we're going to Korea. And we'll hope that you will join us there in August and share music of the world with some of the finest choirs and lecturers in the world. Also, we do the World Youth Choir. The World Youth Choirs performed for the Nobel Peace Prize last year. And this is the stature that they've reached after almost 20 years of existence. World Youth Choir brings together young people from ages 17 to 26 to sing together from as many as 36 to 40 different countries every year. It's a special event. Also, the World Choral Summit. This is something special that we're doing this year. For the very first time, we're doing a summit in China. And we've been trying to reach out to China for 20 years and get them to begin to talk to us with their huge culture in their country. And finally, it's going to happen this summer. In fact, some of the people in this audience are going to be with us, and I look very much forward to this. The summit will bring together 30 leaders from around the world in choral music. It will bring together 157 choirs and almost 10,000 participants. And also, it will bring together 5 choirs from 5 continents, one of which is from New York, which we're very happy about. The International Choral Bulletin has been published throughout the time of IFCM, and it's published in 4 languages, 4 times a year, and it's a fabulous publication. This is our major means of talking to people around the world and sharing with them the kinds of things that IFCM is doing and encouraging them to get involved in choral music around the world. If you want to become a membership, I think there's a membership in your packet. I think so. I hope so. If not, we'll get you one. IFCM started as an organization of organizations, and it has evolved to an organization of individual members, because everybody has said how important it is to them to, as an individual, to start to talk to other individuals from other countries and learn about their music, learn about their culture. Conductors Without Borders, that's the reason we're here today. Conductors Without Borders is a concept that we started, I guess, about 8 years ago. And the whole idea is to take IFCM and allow it to dig deeper into societies and help those people who may not have the opportunity to study choral music or to perform choral music or to get their choral music out to the world or to learn conducting or to know repertoire and so on and so forth. And so we're here today to combine our project, Conductors Without Borders, with the topics that are happening here, so we can begin to discuss the various aspects of society that is touched by choral music in such a special way. We have wonderful clinicians today that will talk about various aspects, from singing in jails to how to reach across borders in terms of conflict borders, that kind of stuff, and I think you'll find it very, very interesting. I want to just take an opportunity to thank the 3 gentlemen behind me. Jeff Duma has really worked very, very hard for the past couple of years to put this together as part of the Yale International Arts and Ideas Festival. He has worked very hard with Andre de Quadros, who has worked at IFCM for as many years as I have, which is a long time. And of course, also our Vice President, Philip Brunel, who's here to work with you today and to share some ideas with you as well. So I hope that you will have many opportunities to speak in the next 2 days, and I hope that you will learn something about choral music that you may not have known. I trust that you will, and I thank you very, very much for coming. Thank you.
Of course, there are many, many people who've contributed to making this possible, far too many to mention this morning, but I do want to express our appreciation to just a few while we're all here this morning. In addition to Michael Anderson, we're very grateful to Timothy Sharp, the Executive Director of the American Choral Directors Association, who unfortunately couldn't be with us this weekend, but who has provided a lot of support, and ACDA's International Conductors Exchange Program is one of the associated partners of the symposium. John Warren from Syracuse University participated in their first project recently in Cuba, and he's going to be telling us about that later in the day. And of course, Mary Lou Oleski, the Executive Director of the International Festival of Arts and Ideas, who served on the steering committee for our symposium. I also want to thank Mary Cohen and Catherine Roma, who served on our selection committee and worked very hard over the course of last summer and last fall, helping us to put everything together. Philip Brunel, Vice President of IFCM, who served on our steering committee and who we're going to be hearing from in just a few minutes. And finally, Andre de Quatros, who served double duty on both the selection committee and steering committee and has been an essential part of putting this event together at every stage. And as if that were not enough, Andre has also brought his choir from just down the road in Indonesia. And yes. And I'm so glad that you're all here this morning as well. Andre, as Michael mentioned, is a steering committee member for Conductors Without Borders. And right now I'd like to invite Andre to talk a little bit more about Conductors with Borders and how their mission is related to everything that we're going to be doing here at the symposium. Andre?
Is this working? Can you hear me without a microphone, can't you? Can you hear me without a mic? Yes? Yes? And if I try harder, you can hear me even better, right? Yes. So, and I think it's probably easier because I'm going to, we almost can't speak without a PowerPoint presentation these days, right? But I thought it was useful for me to, so once Jeff dims the lights a little bit, I can start. I think one of the things about Conductors Without Borders that is useful to know is that as Michael Anderson mentioned, we started in 2007. And a few of us came together in Venezuela and Caracas under the leadership of Maria Guinand and started what has become an international network of people who are working in a number of different settings. Jeff, are we dimming the lights?
Yes, I think just a moment or two we'll be able to bring it down.
Okay. Meanwhile, I'll just hook up my computer so we can start. Sorry? Oh, you did? Right, okay. So one of the things that struck me about this is I thought, what do these have to do with this and this and this? And I Googled choral conductor image, and that's what I came up with. Overly white and overly male. And I thought, and overly heteronormative. So I thought, what has that got to do with that? And I thought that probably, for me, suggests the kind of way in which we might start our conversation in these next 2 days. And so we started in 2007 to generate international partnerships. And since then, we've seen that the mission of Conductors Without Borders, as Michael Anderson so eloquently put, is to dig deeper into society and to redefine what those borders might be. So instead of talking about the projects that people are doing, what I thought I would suggest to you are some thoughts and questions that have been coming to us and inspired by a number of the conversations that our committee has had and my colleagues have been having. And so here are some questions that we might like to consider, and I offer them in great humility. So what is the dominant paradigm of choral music, and whose interests does it serve? And the question is, can choral music serve everyone, and should it, and how? And the reason I say that is because it's not, as we'll see further on, it's not serving everybody in the way that we may think. So I thought about who. And I think I just put down a kind of a laundry list, a grocery list of people. And I think most of us here would fall into the first category of temporarily abled. And then we have the and we're only parked in that first bullet point temporarily, right? We could easily be, we will be at some stage in that third category, and then we will be in the fourth, and we're not there already, and so on, right? So the question then is what? How is choral music meeting the who? Because for me that almost is a list of the world. So it's the majority world. Is choral music serving the majority world? Or who do we include and exclude? And then I thought about where. So where do we perform? We have lovely places like this to perform, and we're grateful for them. Are we restricted to these wonderful spaces? Or what about alternative spaces? Do we expect people to come to us in places that sometimes are not accessible or available or hospitable to a person who is dying, homeless, in a wheelchair, or prevented by a number of different obstacles from actually availing themselves of being part of our experiences? And then I thought about what we sing. Whose musical repertoires are being represented and whose are not, and why, and does it matter? One of my doctoral students came back from a conference that she was at recently, and she said the whole conference was about excellence in choral music. And I said, what does that mean? I asked her, and she said it was all about how to sing more in tune and about whatever. And she mentioned a whole lot of technical things, and I thought that was interesting. So that's how some people are choosing to define choral music. So the question for us is, how are we choosing to define choral music in terms of excellence? And what does that mean? Do we overestimate the reach of choral music? And the reason I think I'm going to be at a very big choral festival later on in this country. It has no connection with IFCM at all. And it says choral music brings nations together. And I think we like to think that. And frequently people say, well, if people could only sing together, they won't make war. But as we know only too well, that choral music is used frequently as a weapon of exclusion, to reinforce notions of superiority and supremacy. It was used effectively by Hitler. So choral music is so abstract that it allows us the opportunity to construct something. It gives us the choice to construct either a weapon of humanity, of compassion, or superiority, exclusion, inclusion, and all those kinds of things. So it allows us all of that. So we have the opportunity to choose. And I think that in our tireless advocacy for choral music, we overestimate it. And I believe at the same time, we underestimate its power. Because so not only is there an overestimation, but there's an underestimation, because all of us who work in settings where whether they are with people who are dying or people who are incarcerated, we know that choral music has, or singing or music has a profound power. And if we really believe that it had that profound power, then we would actually try to make it happen. And we would really say yes. And I think that sometimes when we haven't actually experienced that power that choral music has in places with people who are profoundly dispossessed, I think we haven't understood its true capacity. And so in a sense, I think we both on the one side overestimate. We make exaggerated claims. On the other side, we actually underestimate the enormous power that choral music has. So I thought that what we're here to do in these 2 days is to consider a vision, whatever that vision might be, and however we start to, I mean, IFCM is us, ACDA is us, that's who we are. We're constituted by its members, and visions are constructed collectively. And under Michael Anderson's leadership, it's really a sense of community building vision. And so we're really doing this together to learn from exemplary work. I think there's in the next 2 days some really fine exemplary work that we can look at and understand and critique and interrogate, and hopefully become agents of change. After all, we're all born with a voice in the body and a song in the heart. So that's the end of my PowerPoint presentation. so no, that wasn't a call for applause, because now I'm just going to say some things that are fairly routine. So first of all, I want to mention that we have two colleagues here who are from relatively unlikely places. Milad Omranlu, who's from Tehran, the conductor of the Tehran Vocal Ensemble. And I think it's particularly important for us in a symposium like this to have, and at a time in which we are, to have an Iranian conductor in our midst. So please welcome Milad. I wanted to make very special mention of that because we're living in difficult times where we simply can't trust politicians to make the world a better place, and we have to ordinary people have to find solutions, and art can help to find solutions. And someone who is working with solutions is my colleague Rahib Haddad, a Palestinian conductor who's here. Rahib, please welcome Rahib. We have a number of very, very distinguished and inspiring colleagues from all over this country and Western Europe, and we're very delighted to welcome them as well, and from other places. But I wanted to mention these two particularly because they have they've come a long way and they've got quite a lot to say to us. So tomorrow we have a breakout session, and in that breakout session there you have in your packets you have the summary of the theme of each breakout session and questions that will go with it. So when we get to the breakout session, it's a chance for you to say, well, I'm going to go and visit with so and so and spend that time together. So I think with that, you examine your packet for that. That would be very, very important thing to do and prepare yourself in advance. We want to get to the end of the symposium. Mike Anderson has asked very much
Thanks so much, Andre. Thank you for putting these big questions out there for us to consider so thoughtfully and so eloquently. I do hope that we will have a free and open exchange of ideas over the next couple of days. And some of us know each other very well, have known each other for years. Many of us are meeting each other for the first time this morning. And so to help facilitate that free and open exchange of ideas, we thought we might end this morning's welcome with a little bit of an icebreaker. And Philip Brunel, who, as I said before, is a vice president of the IFCM and also has done fantastic, dedicated work for us as a member of our steering committee, has very graciously agreed to perform that task, help us break the ice, and lead us in a song. Philip?
Thank you, Jeffrey. Before we do, I just want to say, following on what Andre has been talking about, if there is, as we continue to grow Conductors Without Borders, one of my responsibilities at IFCM is to try to help with the funding. So I am in the midst, I have found some, but I'm always looking for interesting companies that are global, that would find something like what this program is, something that they would like to be involved in. So if there are any names, any leads, please come and tell me. I will follow up on them. I just need to know who they are to make that happen. So I thought about a song. I thought, okay, we're coming from all over the world, and we haven't sung yet this morning, most of us, and so at least I don't think you have. And I thought, okay, what can we all do together? And I thought, it's always good if we can make our voice be connected with our brain. This also helps. So would you all stand, please? fountain, don't sing flowing. Okay? Here we go. 1, 2, let's go. And there's a. There's a. Thank you very much.
Don't go far, but you can stretch your legs. Our first session begins right here in about 7 minutes.